I did do a crowd work clip of a girl that went to my seminary, and I brought him up in the crowd work, and I called him a twink.
Okay, but a lot of them are twinks.
I know.
A lot of rabbis are twinks, and we don't talk about that enough.
I know. There is something to that.
There is something to the boyish face of a rabbi.
A Twinkie rabbi energy. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Yenta. Yenta. This podcast, we're going to get everybody's secrets, their juicy secrets. Because Yenta means gossip in Yiddish. Mm-hmm. We know this. We know this today. Mm-hmm. Thank God. I'm Raye. Today we have an amazing co-host, Antonia Lasson.
Hello, Yentas.
And our guest today. Oh my God. You guys, I'm freaking out. I'm trying to play it cool. Our guest today is Gabe Dunn, writer, performer, director, podcaster, internet celebrity, insane Gabe Dunn. Everybody give it up for Gabe.
Hello.
Am I fanboying too much? Is it?
No.
Okay,
I didn't. Do people come on here and they don't know what Yenta means?
Yes, unfortunately.
Oh, that's interesting.
I know.
Name them.
Well, I think my boyfriend, was confusing Yenta with Yentel, which happens a lot.
A lot. Is your boyfriend Jewish?
No.
Yeah.
No, he didn't know. Like, he said he didn't even know Jewish stereotypes because that's how little they talked about Jewish people where he grew up.
Where is he from?
Washington State. So he was I don't even know, like, when you make jokes about it, I don't even know the joke. Oh, I know, pure.
Yeah.
But also just like, I'm like, this is funny. And he's like, I don't know why it's funny.
I know.
In a very nice way. But it is like, there is like a shared sense of humor that I assume most people have that they don't because they're not Jewish.
It's crazy.
I know.
Because like the people who know what Yenta is like, oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Genius.
Yeah.
But then everyone else is like, what the fuck? Why are you using a gibberish word for a podcast?
Well, do you find that you have Yiddish words in your vocabulary and then you use them and other people are like, what is this?
Yes.
Like just calling, like being like, if someone's sick, being like, you're kepi or like, you know, little like schmutz or whatever. And people are like, what is that?
I know. It's hard.
I
That's
forget
why I only
it's
talk
Yiddish.
to Jews.
I love saying Baruch Hashem around
Right?
Goyim.
Yeah.
Just because I think they get so excited by the cultural experience. They're like, that means something.
Yeah, there's like a few, well, goyim even, like referring to people as goyim, and they're like, what? And I'm like, it's you. You're a goyim.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You're a goy. Don't worry
You don't
about
need
it.
to know.
Yeah.
So on that topic, we are both bisexual, poly, queer Jews from New York.
I'm not from New York.
Oh, you're not?
I came to LA from New York.
Okay.
But people always ascribe like a Northeast, like a New York or a Boston to me, which is flattering because I am from Florida.
What?
Yeah.
But didn't you grow up in Riverdale?
No, that's Allison.
Oh, fuck
No,
me.
Allison
My
grew up
bad.
in like Scarsdale. No, Allison's like a New York Jew.
Oh, okay. That's
and
why
then I think people think, like, because I came here from New York and then before that, Boston. And so I think when people think like, oh, where's Gabe from? Sometimes they'll just be like, you're from Boston, right? Because I also wear a lot of Red Sox caps. And I'm like, no, I'm glad that you think that, but I'm from
it's a compliment.
Florida.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's shitty. Yeah.
I think the vibe is like Northeast something, which I know. I grew up in like, anytime I meet another Jewish person from Florida, we have to play like, you know, the game of who do you know, because I'm from like Fort Lauderdale area. So normally I'll be like, oh, I'm from Florida, and people will be like, either my grandparents live in West Palm, or they're like, oh yeah, I'm from Weston, and then we play like, what synagogue did you go to or whatever. There's a lot of Jews in Florida.
So too many.
And the Jews of Florida really don't feel like the rest of Florida. I mean,
no, it's different.
The Jews of Florida talk like they're from the Northeast. They're
Yes.
like, hello, how are you?
Yes.
It's like, is this
Yes.
New Jersey?
I took the New York Times dialect quiz, which is you like answer questions and they can really pinpoint exactly where you're from. It's crazy. Like my ex, they knew what county in Kentucky she was from. But so they were like,
wow.
So they like were for mine it said like my town in Florida and then like Queens, New York or Brooklyn, Queens or Brooklyn, New York. And I was like, this quiz just called me a Jew. Cuz like my parent, you know, like my mom came from there or all the, you know, their snowbirds or the grandparents came from up there. So it's like, yeah, Florida is sort of New York adjacent, weirdly.
Lots of snowbird. Yeah. It's the same. The Jewish version of Florida is New York.
Yes.
Jew.
I will agree with that. Yeah.
Okay. So you're agreeing with me. You are from New York.
Yeah, you're a New York Jew.
In a way.
Yeah, I mean, with like where your family grows up or where your grandparents come down to visit, they've got very thick New York accents or stuff like that. Yeah. No, but Allison, my co-host, is from Scarsdale.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was a shitty of me.
No, that's okay. She's got
Raye,
more.
Fuck you,
I'm the
Raye.
worst. And I did all my research too.
No, but
I
didn't.
looked you up on Wikipedia.
Oh God.
What do you think of your Wikipedia page? Do you read it?
I have looked at it. People update it very quickly.
That's good.
It's okay. I also don't like. I don't like that you have to use like a photo that's like a royalty free photo. So the one that they use is like a screenshot from a video. Like it's never a good picture of you.
Yeah, I have noticed that.
Yeah.
Well, not for you. Yours is
but
great.
Everybody.
But
the pictures are horrible.
Yeah.
It's fine. I think they've updated the personal relationships section a bit much. Like we don't need it to be so detailed. Thank you for that.
Oh my God, amazing.
Like minute by minute updates.
You live tweeting.
Literally.
Gabe's relationship.
Literally. They're like,
everyone wants to know your status.
Yeah, right? Or they'll be like, there was stuff on there that wasn't true. Like they said that I had dated a friend of mine, I hadn't. And I was like, whatever, leave it.
Okay.
What am I gonna? I'm gonna not look cool. She's beautiful. Yeah. Okay. We did it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Whatever. If they're hot enough, then it's fine.
You can stay on the wiki page. Whatever.
I wanted to ask you about because I also changed my name.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, within the last chose my name. How was that for you? And thank God when I did it, it was like I wasn't as public, barely. Mm-hmm. And I know you've spoken about this, but I would love to just hear from you more of how was that for you as a public person changing your name?
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was impossible for a long time. I was like, this is going to be impossible.
Yeah.
There's no way I can do this, which it ended up being so much easier than I thought it would. But I grappled with a bunch of different names. I played with a few names and I just was reluctant to do Gabe because I was like, that's so boring. That's so obvious. That's not creative in any way. So I was like, so I wanted to try some fun stuff. And then it just didn't make sense and what didn't sound right or didn't it wasn't easy to convey. I wanted something that I started realizing that the fun ones I had come up with, when you're talking to someone in a loud bar and you say your name, it's very hard to get for them to know what it is.
Can you share those? What you were thinking of?
I was using Gaz for a while, which is Gaz, which is a British formation, British people named Gary or Gareth or whatever. They'll use they'll add a Z to the end of the name. So people named Jeremy are named Jez, or people named Cheryl are Shez. That's a British thing. Huh. And so I was like, oh, that's so cute. I like that. And I'd been watching Love Island. And I was like, I think that's a cute nickname convention. So I was using that for a while. And then I was just using Gab. Then I had this idea that I was like, I'll use Gary. Because I was like, that's funny. Nobody looks at me and thinks I'm going to be named Gary. And that's hilarious to me.
SpongeBob.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
And then it was sort of well, you can't go based on what's funny. I mean, you can.
You can.
But
it would get tired quickly. The joke can only last so long.
Right. And then I was like, whatever, I'll just do, because I liked that my dead name was a name that was an angel. And also it helped because a lot of my prescriptions and stuff it's hard to change. But if I just take off the last two letters and I do Gabriel, then when I go to the pharmacy and they say, what's it under? And I say Gabriel, they're not going to fight me on it. Yeah. They're going to be like, oh, well, maybe that's just pronounced differently or whatever.
Oh, I love that.
But I also, so then that just sounded better. So I did that. I don't mind. There's been a couple times lately where I've run into someone who like didn't know, and they approached me and said my dead name, or like somebody old friend, or like they just, and I answered to it, like I understood what, like, and then it didn't like particularly jar me, but yeah, it is funny, and now it feels funny, right? Now you go through like enough time where you're like, that's weird that I had a different name.
Yeah,
that's funny. Like that's like that. I like that was a period of my life, but that's over. You know, it doesn't feel particularly bad, but it was. It is interesting that when I Google myself or when I tag myself, I have to sort of use the old name. Or even I just did a podcast where they put, I was like, this is bold. In the title of the podcast, they were like, blah, blah, blah with Gabe Dunn, formerly. And I was like, you had to put that in the title?
That's annoying.
Formerly?
Yeah.
People could figure it out.
Yeah.
I didn't change it that much.
It's really
Jesus.
like, almost the same.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
That's annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't do that in this title. No,
I was just like,
I was gonna do it.
We'll
I
be
was
like,
gonna do it.
formerly BuzzFeed child star.
Exactly. Child star.
Which one is worse for you?
I'm fine with BuzzFeed Child Star. Even though I was like 25 when I worked there.
Yeah, do you feel like a little bit of a child star? That's on the young end for a lot of fame.
Yeah. And it was fast and it was like hard. And it was like, oh, now I'm in videos that like millions of people have seen, which is also strange as a trans person because there's so much content of me as a girl out there. So much. And it's funny, like meeting people now who just freely admit this. Like some, like certain friends are like, or certain new people I meet are like, oh yeah, I saw an old picture of you or something. But like also someone else that I met, I assumed that he knew stuff about what I looked like before. And he was like, I've never actually looked. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. But one friend, a friend of my boyfriend's that I met, he was like, I met you in 2014 at a bar and we took a picture together. He was like a fan. And I was like, no. And he found it. And I was like, this is so cursed.
Gabe, this is embarrassing.
You have one of those?
I have one of those.
Where did you meet me? Where did you meet me?
You don't remember?
No.
I have it pulled up. Hold on.
Oh my God, stop.
I met you at JP Morgan Chase in New York City.
In New York, okay.
You were doing a book tour for Bad with Money.
Yes, you worked there?
I did work there.
Whoa.
Isn't that gross?
That's so wild.
I know.
I took their money, so what do I,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. I worked there as a software engineer.
Oh my
for
God.
like 2
Software,
years.
is that what you do now?
It is what I do, yeah.
That's
yeah.
what my boyfriend does.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Where?
At Google?
Hell yeah. Good for him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
Google.
I have to lock that down.
Yeah, really. I work at a startup now.
Oh, cool.
But I'm not here.
Oh my God. Wait, you look so different. Whoa.
I feel like I look extra dykey.
Oh
and
my
then,
God.
Here, listeners, I'm pulling up a picture from January 15th, 2019.
Oh my God. Oh man, I loved those pants that I was wearing. That's so funny.
Epic.
Yeah.
And then we came up to you and we were like, Gabe, they're Allison.
Oh,
Because like I was
yeah.
like the queer, like
Oh my
bisexual
God.
dyke, and then she was like the neurotic, anxious. And you were
yeah.
like, I totally get it. And I changed my life.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's funny when you can tell who like my fans are.
Yeah.
Someone who looks like that
Yeah.
walks up in that period of my life. And I was like, there it is.
I feel like we almost look more similar.
Like related. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's so funny.
Or there was like
dreams do come true.
Oh my God,
everybody.
that's so funny. That's so funny. And this guy Martin, he was like, I met you.
Yeah.
And I was like, no. And then he had the picture and I was like, and he was like, I met you at a bar in West Hollywood. And I was like, oh God. And it was like my purple hair phase.
Yeah.
And I was like, what a cursed image, because now we're both like in our 30s. So like, what a fucking cursed image. That's so funny. At least I look good there.
You do.
But like,
do you care if I share this? I'll put it in
I
the
don't
show
care.
notes.
It's
Okay.
very funny.
Okay.
And there's like, that was like a really fun. I was in New York for like I did shows at the Strand. Like that was like really fun book tour element of it.
I feel like the book tour is more fun than the book, writing the book.
The tour is very fun.
Yeah.
I mean, it was hard. Like with our novel, me and Allison did bunch of cities, and she's an overachiever, so it wasn't like let's just sit and read the book and do the signing. We did like a full live show every night at this we did like there were sketches and videos.
So extra.
And it was so extra. But it like actually that's what helped us get on the bestseller list with the first book because people bought tickets to the show and like wanted to go to the show. So it was smart of her. But I was just like, this is so much work. And then Bad with Money, I would just go and read an excerpt and get interviewed and then sign books. And JP Morgan had me come to talk about like diversity, I think, or something. Well, I remember I remember the person introduced me, not to like blow up your old workplace.
It's fine.
But they like
Fuck them. I used to cry in the bathroom there.
Oh,
it was
God.
so bad.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah, yeah.
really?
I think they introduced me by being like, and this is achievable for everyone. And I remember getting up and being like, it's not. Like, I think they weren't super pleased with my performance.
Well, because you were just like honest and not doing their corporate bullshit.
Some woman came up to me unsolicited there and was like, hey, I looked at your Instagram and like, it's more of an influencer Instagram. And if you made your Instagram like more about your like financial advice, I think like that'll do much better. And I was like, oh, I didn't even ask you. Like, I don't, what's your name? Like, I don't know. What? Like, she just felt very
JP
comfortable.
Morgan.
Yeah. Being like, I think your Instagram's giving the wrong message. And I was like, my Instagram is just pictures of me and my friends. Like,
You're like, it's funny because like the JP Morgan Instagram kind of makes you look like super villains.
yeah.
Like,
So it's just kind of
like,
weird.
If you just looked more like influencers, I think it would be better for your brand.
You would look like a person, maybe, or like have a shred of humanity.
Like the financial firms who spend all this money bringing in like diverse speakers to make themselves feel better is wild. I used to work at a financial firm and like the speakers that they would bring in were insane.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're like, you don't hire anyone who looks like this. So I don't know why you put them in here to talk.
Or you do, but then you treat them miserably.
Exactly.
And then they're
like
sad.
I was thinking at Pride, like I was watching all the corporate floats
Oh
go
my
by.
God.
And like, right, it's every queer person at JP Morgan is walking by. They're like 0 trans people.
Of course.
They're all gay. They're all lesbian.
Of course.
But all the trans people are in the nonprofit floats or the independent floats. And it's so upsetting.
Or like, oh my God, we hope Pride doesn't have cops, luckily, but LA Pride had police officers and they were handing out badges and stuff. And we were all like,
badges?
Like stickers, stickers of badges.
No.
And we were like, and people were taking them. And it was a really interesting reminder that like queer people are all different.
Yes.
And that there's like no, that like I what I think of as a consensus is like not a consensus.
Yeah.
And like very, like I'm just sort of simply confused all the time about what different queer people feel about different things. Like me, my boyfriend and his friend were like, don't take the sticker. Stop taking the stickers. Stop doing. What are you doing? And like, it's just like queer people who like live their lives being like, ooh, sticker. You know what I mean? They've got a different existence than me.
They're not even cop queer people. They're sticker queers.
Exactly.
Those queer.
They haven't thought of any political aspect of it at all. So they're just like, ooh, shiny sticker.
Yeah.
It was so strange. And like, I understand that there are queer cops, but like, why did they get a float? Like, it was just so strange.
I feel like the sticker is kind of off. Like off note. Like
handing out the sticker. Yeah, I just was like surprised how much LA Pride was very, very corporate.
Yeah, very corporate. What was your Pride attire? Like, what's your Pride persona?
Well, I had top surgery in December, so it's my first Pride with top surgery. So I wore.
That's claps.
That's a good clap.
Oh, nice. So I had a bunch of mesh stuff. So I got like a mesh hoodie, which is the most impractical thing.
Oh my God.
It's a hoodie that is just mesh and it has the hood. Again, mesh. So I don't know what it's protecting you from. Like nothing. It's like comically unuseful. And so I wore like mesh, little crop mesh hoodie, nips out. I wore shorts. What was the other week? I wore a Drag Race shirt that was like, you're perfect, you're beautiful, you look like Linda Evangelista, your model. We saw Orville Peck, so I wore like a cowboy shirt with a bolo tie.
Yes.
Trying to match the vibes of the day of like who might be performing and what. I forget like other stuff. And then what did I wear at Dyke Day?
You wore a.
Oh, you remember? What was I wearing?
I think you were wearing something cheetah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I saw Gabe at Dyke Day in a long bathroom line.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to say hi to them.
Yeah, it was a very long bathroom line. They haven't quite nailed the bathroom situation at Dyke Day.
It's terrible.
In any way.
Also, I always use the men's bathroom when I'm at Dyke Day.
It's crazy to me that they gender the bathrooms at Dyke Day.
They don't. Because,
it's just the park.
It's just
but
the park.
they don't. It's like how many places have we been to where they put up the new signs?
Yeah,
they should. That's an easy fix.
Like the Jewish queers have one where JQ has one where there's a little like non-binary body and the head is just a Star of David.
Oh my God.
And it just says whichever.
Oh my God.
In the Jewish font.
Oh my God.
Great. Have you done any JQ stuff?
No, I met a couple of people at a bar that were talking to me about JQ and about Hebrews, which is like for gay guys.
Yeah. I don't know Hebrew.
Yeah, I don't know that either.
That's like a meetup for like Jewish gay guys.
Okay.
But yeah, I haven't done any stuff with them, but I had a couple of people be like, they were like Jewish comedians who were all at the bar together. I guess,
was it Avital Ash?
No, this was like gay guys.
Oh, okay.
So no, I know Avital, but no, it was like these gay guys that do like a show. Oh my God, I can't remember. The guy's name is Sid Siegel. And they do like a, we followed each other, but they do some sort of like Jewish comedian queer show. And I was like, or open.
We're both queer Jewish comedians and shocked that we don't know these people.
It's all men. But I don't know. It was like a WeHo. Okay. It seemed like a WeHo gay thing. I'm not sure. Sorry, Sid. Bleep his name. I don't know. But
wait. Sid, he's like tall and very cute.
He's very tall and very cute.
Okay, he's a friend of mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He's my neighbor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he is very tall and very cute.
Yeah, you should have him book us on his shows.
Yeah,
you should. But right now he's doing a show every week on Shabbos on Friday night, and I was like, you have to move this. This is crazy.
Oops.
Shabbos.
Oops. Well, called out.
Yeah.
I think that's where I was at High Tops and I ran into a bunch of these like Jewish comedians. I just go up sometimes and just start talking to people as like a fun, I don't know, as like a game.
I
like
love that.
Who here, I'll like search out like, okay, who here looks like I could chat with them. It doesn't always work.
Yeah.
The person is not always open to chatting.
Well, I feel like you're just really good at like that's like been your job for so long. Yeah. Right? Like interviewing
I'm always
people.
surprised with the because I'm like a trans guy out in WeHo. Like I should not have the confidence that I have. But then like I'll like my like cis guy friends who are like objectively cute will be like, oh my God, I couldn't possibly go up to that person. I couldn't. It'd be so embarrassing if I went and like asked for their number. And I'm like, why?
Oh, so you're flirting with them.
Trying to flirt.
Damn, Gabe.
Trying to flirt.
That's awesome.
But also open to friends, but just flirting. But like,
do they recognize you? Does anyone recognize you?
Yeah,
maybe that's like why you have the confidence of many followers.
No, I mean, not always. I mean, one guy, it was funny. One guy came up to me, I think at Pride, and was like, oh my God, I'm a fan. And was talking to me and stuff. And I was like, that's so sweet. Thank you. And then I like turned around. And then I turned back around and he was just making out with a friend of mine, which is totally fine.
He was using you.
No, or get to my friend. I don't know. But I was like, I like was like, oh. And then I was like, well, that's fun. Good for them. Mm-hmm. But it was like 2 seconds. It literally went like this and then like this and they were making out. And I was like,
oh, that's so gay.
I don't even know how to facilitate a make out that quickly.
It was really fast.
Yeah.
And I was also like, oh, good for my fan, I guess. You know, so
you take credit for that.
I can't. I think
you're the Shad Khan.
Yeah. I don't think it was a match, guys.
This is also I read this on your Wikipedia page. I'm so sorry. Okay. That you got an interview with R.L. Stine.
I did
just by tweeting him out.
Yes, I did.
And Antonio's like, you are my R.L. Stine.
Yeah.
How do you do, I feel like that's the same energy that you have when you just, meet random people at a bar.
Yeah, he was, prolific on Twitter at the time. And I wanted to interview him, and I knew he lived in New York. And so I tweeted at him, and he was like, yeah, meet me at this taco truck or whatever. And
really?
I was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So I went and met him, and the interview went well, and I posted it. And then I hung out with him a couple other times. I went to see his house, which was really nice. Wow. And he lived in a penthouse above Tina Fey.
Oof.
And it was
above R.L.
Stine above Tina Fey?
Building? Oh my God.
So it went like it was one of those buildings where in New York where the elevator opens right to the house, which is like so rich and fancy. And then he had like a library with like a Beauty and the Beast ladder, sort of like it was like amazing.
Oh my God.
Wow.
And I saw his Kids' Choice Awards and all this stuff. And then I hung out with him a couple other times. And then I also, when I was in 2019, when I was at the book fair, some book fair, I forget, maybe in New York, maybe in Florida, I can't remember. But he was there also. Or maybe it was Washington, I don't remember. He was at some book festival thing that I was promoting one of my books and he was there too.
Nice.
And so we got to like say hi and take a picture.
You guys are just tight.
But that was the last time that I talked to him or saw him. But I think like it was an era of Twitter where a lot of celebrities were just on there.
Oh, okay.
And then just like, if you tweeted them, they were like fine to talk to you.
Well, I feel like that's kind of what I did with you a little bit.
I guess
I was just like, I'm just
yeah.
gonna DM them. Like, let's see what happens.
Well, I saw your videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know. They got recommended to me or something.
Jews.
I know, Jews.
You know.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh,
Jews
that's
on the
funny.
internet. Yeah.
So I was like,
Amazing.
that's funny.
So then when I DM'd you, you were like, okay, I kind of like know,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't like a totally.
No.
Crazy.
How did you guys
It's like,
know
why
each
did
other?
you do this podcast? I was like, why are you?
Yeah, we're both like, why did you say yes?
Because I really like Jewish stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought your videos were funny and I had a context for you.
Yes,
but how
yes.
did you guys know each other?
Instagram.
Instagram.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
I
Also-
moved to LA, Raye came up on my Instagram and I was like, a queer Jew in LA. And then I
Yes.
DM'd them and was like, I'm a queer Jew in LA, let's be friends. And then we had one coffee date. And in that date, like within 20 minutes, you were like, do you want to be on my podcast? And
Tony was the first
episode.
guest, the first guest ever.
so sweet.
I know. And
I
actually,
love
it was
that.
a really nice.
I know.
And now we're just like,
And now we're in love.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, that's perfect.
In like a
That's
platonic
like-
way.
Yeah.
I met Allison at an open mic and
Wow.
we just like hit it off right away. And we're like, within, I don't know, like a couple months, we're like, we should do a YouTube channel. And then when we started at BuzzFeed, everyone was like, you guys are best friends. And we were like, I guess we're best friends.
Yeah.
And then
you
it
say
just
so.
like kept going. We were like, yeah, sure. They'd be like, how long have you known each other? We were like, probably like 3 months. but
But you have a shtick.
Like
you have a good banter.
artistic friendships, when you find someone who just
Yeah.
like resonates on your artistic and comedic frequency,
Yeah.
oh my God. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, it's like gold. Of course you were put together for the rest of your lives.
And we both are like ambitious in the sense that we like get stuff done. Like we're both like, I will finish this, which like
Yeah.
a lot of
It's
people
hard
you
to
meet,
find. Yeah.
right? A lot of creative people you meet don't finish things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
really just a matter of like if you meet someone else who wants to like finish stuff and complete stuff
Oh my
and try
God,
stuff.
that is so real.
Or the risk, like who doesn't mind the risk of putting stuff out there? Some people get real nervous where they're like, well,
Yeah.
the video has to be perfect. And I'm like, it's never going to be perfect. So
Oh, how do you deal with that? I struggle with that a lot.
I just forget about
I'm
it.
just like, whatever.
I just forget. I mean, I like care. We care so much about like the show and the podcast and like making things that are good. And but like we're both able to salvage something if it isn't. Like if we have an interview that isn't that good, both of us can sort of figure out a way to like make it work or salvage it.
Like in the editing?
In the editing or in what questions we're asking, or we just start being funny with each other or whatever. We've like worked out over the last like decade. We've worked out how to do that. In a pretty seamless way. But I mean, not everything, like things are not everything's gonna hit. So I don't watch, like Allison really cares about like views and stuff. I don't, I never look, I mean, I'll look if I want to look at the comments, but a lot of times I just am like, this hit for who it hit for, and then I move on.
Yeah.
Or we try to see like what did well. Like we know that like animal episodes of the podcast do well. Like when we did the one about whales or spiders or
So funny.
you know, like whenever we have like whenever we do like an
wild.
episode that's like cats, dogs, whatever. What was the one that we did? Bats.
Wow.
Like people are into those animal episodes. So we're like, okay, think of animals and then find an expert about it. Let's go. Let's do it.
Got it. Okay.
Which is like we do look
smart.
at numbers like that.
Yeah.
Or like they like old like we had Ella from BuzzFeed on and people really liked that one, like
People love
nostalgic
that.
stuff. Yeah. Spilling gossip in any way they
Yeah.
enjoy.
Okay, that's actually a really good segue to our
Yeah,
gossip.
that's
Was
your
that-
show. I know.
Yeah, we're gonna do some little gossip. We're gonna do some secrets.
Okay. Well, you guys go first, so I know what you're saying.
Yeah, like how deep are we getting today?
Well, yeah. Ooh. Okay, I'll start.
Yeah, because what was yours that you prepared?
Yes, mine that I prepared. So this actually was inspired by Antonia's secret last week.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So I grew up Orthodox.
Yeah.
I went to a seminary in Israel in between.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah, where I like learned Torah for the years. Like,
oh man.
I know.
Okay.
It was intense.
Yeah. I went to Jewish day school. I get it.
Yes. There's like it was like all girls, like very
oh my God.
sexy. I mean, not really sexy.
No, but so many
very modest actually.
So many gay people went to all one gender schools.
Yes.
Think about that, parents.
Yeah, don't send your kids to all
unless you want them to be gay.
Straight to Catholic school, folks.
Turn your kids gay.
Yeah.
Although Allison went to boarding school, all one gender boarding school, and she turned out straight. So I don't know.
Weird.
Except she blew
it.
Makes
me laugh so hard. Okay.
And when they like it's very intense. These like interviews to get into the seminaries.
gosh.
I went to like a more serious one.
Okay.
Like a higher, like a harder one to get into. Whatever.
Okay,
No big
wow.
deal. Oh my God.
Okay,
The Harvard of seminaries.
Harvard of seminaries.
And but I also was like always really creative, and I edited their video. You weren't really allowed to use computers, but I edited the video for the end of the year video.
Okay.
And I got on their computer system, and I found the interview file that they had of me when they interviewed me, like their notes about me.
What did it say?
It was like, okay, my Hebrew name, I'll just say it was Rena.
Yeah.
So it was like, Rena's a good girl. She learns Torah. She's very into seminary, but I saw on Facebook that she touches boys. So maybe she's not the religious girl that they made her out to be either.
Wait, stop pictures of you touching
your
boys?
social media. Oh my God.
So if you're applying to seminary, don't put pictures of you touching boys. That
Just like hugging a boy, hugging a man.
No, I don't think it was even hugging. I literally think it was just like our arms were next to each other.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But then they accepted me, so.
Oh my God. Were you devastated at the time, or did you think it was funny?
I thought it was funny, and I was also just like, wow, I can't believe the rumors are true. Like
that they care about that
they actually
much.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it was kind of just like I thought it was like, oh, no one really cares.
Right.
But they do.
Oh my God.
They do. I don't know if they're still. They probably are still doing it.
Oh my God.
I know. It is a fun secret.
But you never said to anyone that you looked at that?
No.
That's so interesting.
But maybe my rabbi will see this podcast.
Does he watch?
Yeah, do you think he's watching?
Maybe.
He's
Your
sometimes
rabbi here in LA?
Well, no. My rabbi from seminary.
Oh, do you think he watches this?
No, but we do. I did do a crowd work clip of a girl that went to my seminary, and I brought him up in the crowd work, and I called him a twink.
Okay, but a lot of them are twinks.
I know.
A lot of rabbis are twinks, and we don't talk about that enough.
I know. There is something to that.
There is something to the boyish face of a rabbi.
Twinkie rabbi energy.
Yeah.
And someone sent him that clip, unfortunately. So then he texted me. This is a different secret that I already told on the pod.
He texted you, and did he ask, what is a twink?
No.
He Googled it himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He should have, honestly. But
I've talked about teachers of mine in stand-up, and I've realized I haven't changed their names. And they're like fine. Like I remember one of them is still in touch with another girl that went to my school, and she was like, "Oh yeah, he like said he kept up with you, and he like knew that this was that you talked about him." And I was like, I could change his name, but like it's not a bad story, so like whatever.
Yeah.
But I do say his first name in it too, so then I realized like, oh, you could just Google this man.
Yeah.
But his first name is like it's a funny name, but it's like it adds to the story, I think. No, just Stuart. But Stuart's like a funny first name to use for a teacher. So I don't know. What did your rabbi say?
He was actually like, I'm honored that I'm in your stand-up clips.
Yeah.
And like keep in touch.
Yeah,
which is
I love that.
Crazy.
There's another teacher of mine that's like was a hot teacher when we were in school, he's like friends with my mom now still and stuff. He's young. He was like 22 when we were 12 or whatever. And so, but I openly like on my show, I said his first and last name. Nice. I say that he was hot. Like he like follows me on Instagram. Yes. Like I like say like I'll like constantly like he came, I had my book tour in Florida and he came to the book tour and my partner at the time was there and a bunch of girls that I was friends with in high school. And we were all talking and he came up and he was like, hey, so good to see you. Like really great, book tour thing, whatever. So proud of you. And he walks away and my ex went, that guy was your teacher? And we were like, and my ex was like, you guys realize he's hot, right? And we were all like, don't even get us started. Don't even get us started. Welcome to all of middle school. Yeah, we know he's hot.
And he was still hot.
Yeah, he's still hot.
Damn.
He can know that.
Okay.
I was like, he has like 2 kids. I was like, all the moms joined, like all the girls joined softball because he was the coach and he wore little shorts. And then all the moms went to watch softball. And then we were like, we're really into softball now. He would wear these tiny shorts. Yeah, why not? Yeah. Bring a little
like
mark.
A little live action,
come hang out with your friends. Bring a little mark in a coffee tumbler and watch Mr. Reinstein's butt in his shorts.
What a dream. Name drop.
He knows who he is.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Reinstein.
Hey.
Yeah, he knows who he is.
I want to see Mr. Reinstein now.
I'll show you.
I'm going to Google. Okay, you'll show me after.
I'll show you.
Do you want to do your secret next or you want Antonia to go first?
You do yours.
Okay. So I was talking to someone, Alex Edelman's show. Do you know Alex Edelman? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So his show right now is like moving to Broadway. Mm-hmm. Have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
Have you seen it, Raye?
No, I really want to.
Yeah. So I was talking with someone and I was like, oh yeah, it's amazing. Like he covers this and this and this. And they were like, oh my God, you saw it. Like, when did you see it? And I was like, oh, right. So I have bootlegs of like every major Jewish comedian who's performed in New York City. And it's because my source is my therapist.
What?
Yep.
What do you mean?
Can I get them?
Lisa, we love her. She goes to so much stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
And anytime it's Jewish or someone who starts talking about Jews, she whips out her phone and records the ceiling of the theater and sends me like 20 4-minute videos after these shows. And I have the ceiling of so many theaters. I've seen so many shows this way.
Oh my God. So you saw his entire show? Just the audio?
Just the audio.
Oh my God. He can't sue you, right? He probably won't. But Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'm not distributing this.
That
just to me later.
Wild.
Also that it's your therapist.
It's my therapist. And you know what the best part is? Sometimes I'll get these clips and I can tell exactly why she pulled out her phone. Like
this seems pointed.
Yeah, literally. Like one time she saw Sarah Silverman and
like she's not Jewish, right?
She's not Jewish, but she grew up in the five towns of Long Island.
Oh my God.
Isn't this so funny?
There's so many layers.
So many layers. She grew up in the 5 towns of Long Island and has this whole thing where she was like best friends with all these Orthodox Jews and still is. And like had this elaborate ruse with her husband where they pretended to be Jewish, like at first accidentally, and then they were like in too deep and like.
Why do you know all of this?
She has weird boundaries, but I really like it.
Oh my God.
Gabe's like, should this be your therapist?
There's a HIPAA violation here. No, she's amazing. I think, I don't think that this. She definitely does not do this for most of her patients, and I think it wouldn't have worked 10 years ago when we first started seeing each other. But at this point, we are like in deep.
Yeah, sure.
And she calls me after a Sarah Silverman concert and gives me a FaceTime video of her doing one of Sarah's jokes about Jews.
God.
And I'm like,
she's just proud of you.
Yeah, she's proud of
really.
me, and she's just so excited to show me anything Jewish. And then I was like, that was a great joke. And she's like, did you like it? And I was like, And she goes, okay, and sends me the
whole
footage
thing
of the rest of the show, starting from exactly that. Right after that joke ended. So I know she saw that joke and was like, oh God, I should record this.
Shit. Oh my God.
I gotta get this for Antonia.
That is
my Jewish comedian client must know.
That is so funny.
Isn't that so
cute? And also
cute?
that she doesn't get caught.
I know. She's just that
she's
good
just
at
holding
it now.
Yeah. Well, I guess she's not video recording the set, but like, yeah, they like are so meticulous about that in stand up. So that's so funny.
I know.
She went to Alex's show.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Did she go just to record it for you?
Well, we did talk about it when she was going.
Yeah.
She was like,
This is psycho.
I'm going. I'll hook you up.
I need a better therapist.
Yes,
This is
my therapist does not do this for me.
Absolutely psychotic behavior. That is so wild. Wow.
It's a good one, Antonia.
So that's my secret.
That's a hot secret.
Wow.
Ooh, spicy.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Gabe.
I don't know how to compete with that. I don't know how to compete with that. I am like I don't even know what's a secret anymore.
That's
like
fine.
I have so much out there on the internet and I have no like concept of, I mean, this is like I'll do like a childhood Jewish thing, which is
Perfect for
Great.
this podcast.
Sure, yeah. Where it's just like I grew up and I was friends with the rabbis' kids. And they're like, so it was like, you know, I think my dad was like president of the synagogue or something. And so we were.
Flex.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, actually, my mom was president. My dad was president of the synagogue. Then my mom was president of the synagogue. And back then, we used to call them like, oh, Bill and Hillary Clinton of the synagogue, because we thought eventually she would become president. Because we were like, you know, it was 2006 or whatever.
Yeah.
And we were like, she'll run someday. Anyway, very dark.
Sad.
So I think they were both presidents of the synagogue, and at different times. And so we were like close with the rabbi and the rabbi's wife and the rabbi's kids, and like I would just fluctuate between having a crush on one of them, having a crush on the other one, having like. Then there was like an older daughter who I was like, I want to just be just like her, which now probably was a crush, but like I think I just like went. I think I spent years going like back and forth between like which of these brothers I was interested in for like years. And now I'm like, did you know any other people? Like, why were you just going back and forth between these two people? I think I only kissed one of them.
But you
only
did.
one.
I think
You realized you consummated the crush.
I kissed one of them. Yeah.
Nice.
I think
Would you have kissed the other one too?
probably. Yeah.
Why not?
I think
Have you ever kissed siblings?
that's a great question. Probably, but I can't remember.
By accident?
Yeah, probably by accident. But I can't remember.
That's
But
such a baller move.
But I do find that wild. Like I find that strange. Well, not strange, but like me and my sister are so different. So like if someone was interested in her and they were interested in me, I'd be like, you have a broad spectrum.
Yeah.
You truly do not have a type.
What?
Whereas
Do you have a type?
I have like different types. I have like multitudes of types.
Yes.
Like I'll have very specific very specific male types and then very specific like female type. Like for a while I used to joke that like this was a long time ago, but I was like there was an episode of SNL where Jesse Eisenberg was hosting and Nicki Minaj was the musical guest, and I was like, this is my dream threesome. Just like a schlubby little like
Nebby
Jewish man and then like a very confident full-figured woman. Like, I'm just like this is exactly the vibes.
Oh,
But now it's different. But that was like, it used to be because I used to also joke that Mark Zuckerberg was my celebrity crush. Because I just felt like that was the weirdest, funniest one you could possibly
So
say.
insane.
that and Larry David.
Yeah, Larry David.
Larry David's
a lot
mine.
of girls like Larry David.
Do they?
Girls love Larry David. Did you know that like Jennifer Lawrence tried to get with him?
No.
Yeah, there was like this thing.
This is a good secret.
Well, it's not a secret.
Oh,
She
it's
talked
not-
about it.
oh.
Where she said that she gave him her number and like tried to like set up a date with him, and he was like, no.
No.
Yes. Good
wow.
for him.
Yeah. That's great. Like
That is
as a
the hottest goss that has been dropped on this
She
podcast.
talked about it. She talked about it that
my
he rejected
God.
her.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, she like goes for like old, like she had like a funny interaction with Jack Nicholson one time where I was like, that was really quick. Where he like came up to her at like some award show when she was getting interviewed, and he was like, you look like an old girlfriend of mine, by the way. And then she went, do I look like a new girlfriend? And I was like, nice.
She's so great.
But
now she's married.
Now she's
with
married.
a kid.
But yeah, she went like girls love Larry David. Are you not
Okay,
on
I
like
take that
Hinge
back.
where like every fucking girl is like just like look like I love Larry David? Or girls describe themselves. They describe themselves as Larry David. They'll be like Larry David, but a girl.
Right.
Or
I've
like
seen that.
I'm interested. Or they all want Larry David.
It's so weird.
True.
Curb has like become the new Office.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like it's really everyone I know is like rewatching Curb.
Yeah. The things that people are rewatching now are Curb and Girls. I've seen a lot of people rewatching Girls. Which I don't know why, but But like Girls, so not the show Girls, but girls love to say that they are Larry David or they're looking for Larry David. Nobody ever says I'm looking for a Seinfeld, by the way.
You, Gabe, are you Larry David or are you looking?
That's interesting. I moved away from like neurotic Jewish. Like I feel like I moved away from that. I feel like I'm more. I want more like confident Jewish. Like maybe a splice of sort of Sephardic in there.
Ooh.
Maybe like a little. Maybe like not like a more confident Jewish man. I think my boyfriend right now is the most goyim of goys, so I don't really know, but. I do like when I saw those Jewish comedian boys all hanging out, like sitting them, I was like, I'm gonna go up to that group. What's going on over there? But like they're
cute. You should date Sid.
They're cute. They're tall. Like I was like, this is like a different type of Jewish man.
Yes.
But the rabbi's kids that I liked were Nebbishes. And I was like very into them.
You matured from the Nebby boys.
Well, I don't know. I feel like if a Nebbish came up to me, I would still be into it probably.
Jesse Eisenberg tomorrow.
I would be so into that. But that's like it's like the cast of The Social Network. It's like a Jesse Eisenberg, an Andrew Garfield, like
a Justin Timberlake.
Like those are like the
Rashida
genders.
Jones.
Yeah, like those are the genders that I'm really like going for.
Those are your types.
Yeah, like a Rooney Mara.
Yes.
Like, sort of what I'm going for there.
Amazing.
It's all different now. Being trans is totally different. I don't know who. I got to figure out my types now.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
It's a whole
new world.
Is that fun and exciting or scary or both?
I just didn't know that I didn't think certain things were possible. Like you asked me about my name and I was like, well, I could never change my name.
Yeah.
I could never go on testosterone. I could never get top surgery. I could never go on Grindr. Like all these things. And then I was like, now it's all very like normal.
Totally.
But like leading up to it, I would be like, that's impossible.
That's exactly how I was so terrified to change my name. Like,
right?
It was literally like even more than stand up. It was like one of the scariest things I've ever done. But now it feels like so normal. Like, of course I'm going to do that.
Yeah. So, every single step that as it goes further and further, you're like, it's wild that wasn't me before.
Yeah.
So it's nice. I haven't changed my Hebrew name.
I was about to ask if you'd change your Hebrew name.
Yeah, I got to do that. I don't know how to do it. I get bar mitzvah.
No. Just find a rabbi who wants to walk you through. Yeah, I think it's really easy, and then you just have a ceremony like at Shabbos in front of the congregation or something.
That's cute.
Yeah,
but you should also get bar mitzvah because that would be fun.
I was thinking about
that.
About having a bar mitzvah.
Yeah, you totally
cute.
Should.
Yeah.
This is Antonia's question. What's your relationship with Judaism now?
So when I left my Jewish day school, I hated it. Mm-hmm. And I really did not like it by the end. But I had been very into it in like middle school. And then I went to college and I was like, I'm gay now, so I can't possibly be Jewish. Mm-hmm. And then I met other Jews who were gay and they were like doing gay Jew stuff. And I was like, okay, interesting. Yeah. And then I kind of came back to it. And then now I feel like I am, like I would go to a synagogue and then not, and then go and then not. And now I'm like, I think I'm more into it, like culturally, like back into it. Because I speak a little Hebrew, like I still have all these cultural things. I threw a Seder, like I still, it's like hard to walk away from because it's part of so much, like language, culture, music, like everything, you know? So it's like hard to feel that it's an ethnicity. So it's hard for me to like walk away from what your ethnicity is that you grew up in. Mm-hmm. But it is also funny now to be like one of the only queer people in my group of friends who's like, maybe God is real, you know? Where like people are largely atheist.
Totally.
So when I'm like not super atheist, and let me tell you, I wrote my college entrance essay about being an atheist, about how much I was an atheist. So like now not being super atheist is confusing to people. I think now I'm finding that like some queer people are very like, what? Like, because they assume, I think.
Are they like judgy about it?
Not judgy, but they're sort of taken aback and then they want to be like, why?
Yeah. Which I totally get, because for them religion has been
horrible, which was horrible to me too.
It is,
Yeah.
but that doesn't mean that like the way you were taught religion is the only way.
Is the only way, yeah.
So I definitely feel like that's been a huge part of my inspiration online and creating, of like talking about how you can be queer and also
and there's like no media about queer Jews liking it. Liking Judaism, you know,
or really any Jews,
it's just,
like,
or really any Jews liking Judaism. It's all like let's like gawk at the Hasidic cults, and like all of the queer trauma, and there's so little media about like Jewish joy, you know,
there was so much stuff that I was taught couldn't stick around if I was gay, so I mean, I don't know, you know, I think a lot of it I resented and didn't like, and a lot of it was like subjugating to women and things like that. But that was just like the part that I was a part of. And I would always go to like a Reform synagogue for like someone's bar mitzvah, and I would be like, this is so fun. What a fun little tambourine time we're all having with this female rabbi.
Exactly.
Wow.
With frizzy hair. Saying everything really breathy.
Yeah. Rivka, whatever her name is. Yeah. Rivka
Malka.
Malka. Right. And the cantor who's also a lesbian.
Yes.
And,
guitars everywhere.
Yeah. Like I loved the sort of like hippy dippy aspect of Judaism. The sort of like we're all wearing tie dye and tivas and I mean I still do it.
Yeah.
I still do it. I still like that sort of what do they call it? A satlan? It was like a hippie
A
Jew.
satlan.
I've
heard of it. Yeah.
Do you know? Is that am I wrong? I think that's what it's called. But like it was like I went to a Jewish daycare. I mean a Jewish camp. So and a Jewish day camp. But
in Florida?
I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I went to a Jewish day school in Florida, and then I went to Ramah Darom in Clayton County, Georgia.
Whoa.
So a Ramah camp that I went to for 10 years. I loved it. And that was like a very Jewish summer camp. And the problem is like divorcing the parts that were very intent on you marrying a man and having babies.
So you got that messaging even
big time.
Yeah.
Wait, so the shul that your parents
conservative synagogue.
Oh, it was conservative.
Yeah. And but it was very religious. It was conservative, but it was like leaning more towards separate plates and keeping the Sabbath and all of that kind of stuff.
Right. Sometimes they're just like Orthodox, but without a mechitza.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That was kind of exactly it. Yeah. And then when I went to Orthodox synagogues and there was a mechitza and I had to sit in the back, I was like, this seems wrong. I didn't like it. I was like a teen and I was like, this sucks.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Or like when they were like, don't sing so loud for Kol Isha.
Yes.
I'd be like, but that sucks. Like there's
really
like a lot. I mean, if you're watching this, you don't know what that is, but they're not allowed to hear the voice of a woman, whatever. Like there were so many things, or like the Eshet Chayil, I always thought was like so demeaning and annoying. But then now I'm like, well, there are different interpretations, blah blah blah. But my mom never wanted my dad to do it on Shabbos. She was always like, don't fucking talk to me about how I cook and clean. Get the fuck out of here. She was like not into it. She didn't want him to do it. Yeah.
That's
so
amazing.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, it's complicated.
It's complicated
in a beautiful way, and I think that's like really
and now
cool
I wear my Jewish star and stuff, especially because of the rise of anti-Semitism. I'm not wearing it
Oh,
now, but for the rise of anti-Semitism, I started wearing it a lot because I was like, let's like show that, you know?
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna get you out of here because you have a hard up. We have one advice question. Can we do that? Okay. The advice question for you is how can I find more queer spaces or queer friendly spaces or create one when there is none?
It's hard because a lot of them are drinking based. Like there's a lot of sort of like, okay, we'll go to the bar or meet people at the bar, or there's this dance party or things like that. So I've always thought about like people who don't like to go out late or people who don't like to drink. But I imagine there's stuff at different synagogues that would be like useful, but also queer sports is a big thing.
Yes.
There's like huge, I've found like queer sports stuff here in LA, definitely. My boyfriend plays dodgeball. I play kickball.
Nice. It's a queer kickball?
Queer
league?
kickball,
Nice.
queer dodgeball,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
Did they say Jewish or they just said queer?
Just queer.
Yeah, so queer sports is huge. And you can find that a lot of places.
I feel like Lex is big for that.
Lex.
Yeah.
Lex.
Do you use Lex?
I have. Yeah, I have used it. And like Lex is good for that. And I mean, I'm now mostly like queer sports is the big one, but there's also like queer art stuff. Like I have found like here, there's a place called Nova Arts that has, like queer figure drawing or queer, they like have like they had like trans figure drawing, which was really cool. It's like nude trans people and you draw them and stuff.
Whoa.
So like they had, I know my friend was doing it and he invited,
Like they were a model?
yeah, and he invited me and I couldn't make it. And I was like, I guess I'll have to see you naked a different way. But like there's like activities that happen on I Google a lot, especially because I was looking for a hobby. Like I was really looking for a hobby this year. And I was like Googling around trying to find a hobby. And I ended up with kickball. But I looked at a bunch of art classes. And there were like sculpture, blah, blah, blah. Like there were queer art stuff that was really prevalent here in LA at least.
Yeah. I imagine that this person, I don't know where they are.
Lives in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
sure.
kind of what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
In the Midwest. What would you recommend for if you live in the middle of nowhere?
Lex is good.
Yeah.
Next door, it can be a cesspool, but if you post something there, you might be able to find something. There's probably queer events that are maybe not the best, but you could meet at least one person there who's cool, probably. And starting something, you just need to find a space that is friendly and open, which there are tons of different, like I said, like art spaces or even just like a restaurant that'll let you.
Or even a basement. Like a living
basement.
room. Yeah,
there's restaurants. There's like a trans mask mixer here in LA.
Ooh.
And they just take over the back of this bar, Idle Hour, like once a month.
Amazing.
And it's just like, no bar is going to be like, don't come here with people, you know?
Right.
So you don't have to drink.
As long as
and if you go
money.
to the mixer, you don't have to drink. You can just hang out at the mixer if you want.
Yeah. Great.
I don't know.
Great advice.
I moved to LA, so what do I know?
I know.
You know?
Move to LA. That's really what you need to do. Or New York.
No, but even here it's
WNBA
so
game?
hard.
Oh,
Go to a WNBA game.
Yes.
That's what people do here
I
too.
love that that's become a thing that people are doing. Yeah.
Go to a WNBA game or a women's soccer game. You'll meet gay people there.
Go to a queer, like Two Dykes and a Mic.
Yeah.
They tour all over.
Yeah.
We had Rachel on. She was so great.
Yeah,
Rachel
she's
Scanlon.
great. She's great.
Or
Or Ashley Gavin shows.
yeah.
Or there's all kinds of queer comedians that'll probably be in your area.
Yeah. Maybe us one day.
Maybe you guys.
Do you
Absolutely.
tour at all?
I used to tour.
Yeah.
I have toured with my book.
Yes. You and Allison do it. Yeah.
And then but no, not right now. I'm not touring. But
One day.
sometimes they'll ask me to go do stuff and I'll go to that city and do something.
So fun.
It depends.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're going to let you go. Do you have anything you want to plug?
Oh God. Okay.
Gabe, Dunn.
Okay.
on Yenta.
I'll plug Bad with Money, which is my podcast, and then Just Between Us, which is my podcast, and we just had new merch that we made. So go get our merch at justbetweenuspod.com. And then The New Guys is my brand new show. It's me and River Butcher, and it's a trans show, and we're talking specifically to trans mask people, but we just had Alexandra Gray on, who's a wonderful trans woman actress. So we span the gamut, but our next few guests we're sticking more to trans guys. So it's the Trans Guy Podcast. Please come listen to it. It's very, I'm very proud of it, and River and I have put a lot of work into it. So
Amazing.
It's great. You're both like such celebrities of the trans mask space.
Literally. And now you're just going to take it to a next level.
I can't believe that River asked me to do the podcast, and I was sincerely like, River wants to hang out. Like River wants to be my
River's
friend.
so cool.
Oh my God.
I did a show with him in Glendale outside of a chicken shop.
He's
and he
cool.
crushed.
He's so cool.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, and he didn't really realize that until like the first episode where he was like, why did you want to do the show? And I was like, mostly to hang out with you.
Duh.
But also like, it's a nice, he was right in that there wasn't really a show that was just for trans guys. So I was like, this is fun. Let's do it.
Amazing.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you for being
Thank
here.
you for being here.
I appreciate it.
Antonia, say goodbye. Say plug what you need to plug.
I'm Antonia Lassar at Antonia Lastar on all social media platforms. If you're a synagogue who needs a great night of comedy, call me. If you're in Seattle at the end of July, I'll be there at Temple to Hirsch Sinai, and it's going to be huge.
Oh, nice.
Also, you can follow me at Gabe S. Dunn.
Yes.
But also, my dad's gonna watch this, and he's gonna hire you for the synagogue.
Yes.
He loves to bring comedians.
Oh my God, that's
He
amazing.
honestly should. I'm booking a lot.
Yes.
Yes, they love it.
She's touring all over with an hour show.
Yeah, they love
it's
it.
Amazing.
He's gonna. I blew up his spot, but he would probably have done that anyway.
Dad, hire Antonia.
Truly.
Okay, I'm at Raye on the way. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.